Welcome to FBB Forum. My name is David, and I appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you like this content, please be sure to like, subscribe, and follow the FBB Forum Instagram and YouTube page. And the links are listed below in the comments. I also want to thank the awesome Chris Skinbari from Best Muscle Video for recommending my next guest for this podcast. I'm very pleased to welcome the amazing NPC Women's Physique athlete, Brittany Martin, to the podcast. Brittany competed at the NPC North Americans this year and earlier won the NPC Texas Classic. Sorry, I can't talk. She's also a PE teacher, track coach, and tennis coach, and is a certified personal trainer too, and lives in Fort Smith, Arkansas. Brittany has a great look and really, I think, has great potential in the sport. Welcome, Brittany. It's great to have you here.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much for letting me join you.
Thank you. Yeah, it was great to hear from Chris, and he had highly recommended that I speak with you. So yeah, it's great to catch up with you. I know you did an interview with him back in 2022, so it's been a couple of years.
Yes, and I actually did. His first interview was after the Texas Cup in 22, and then he interviewed me at Nationals in 23 because my husband was competing, and he kind of just caught me. I wasn't busy, so we did a little interview there. So
Oh, very nice. That's great. Yeah. I wish Nationals was back in Orlando. I missed it when it was Orlando.
yeah, it's always fun going to Florida, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was curious, in terms of getting started in bodybuilding, did you have an athletic or a sports background before you got started?
Yeah, I mean, I've been a tomboy as long as I remember. I mean, that's just how my dad raised me. I've always played sports. Played a little softball in college. I've always been in the gym working out. And then I actually got into CrossFit for a couple years, and then I hurt my back, and then that's what led to my spinal fusion. But I got into bodybuilding a couple years ago because I couldn't do CrossFit anymore.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so here we are. I just had spinal fusion 6 months ago.
Really?
No, 8 months. Sorry, 8 months ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Did that involve like the screws that you put in your back and that kind of stuff?
So
Or-
I have 6 screws. Yeah. So I have 3 vertebrae that are fused together.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
And that's from a CrossFit injury?
Um, I mean, I've always had lower back issues, but the CrossFit was what did it in. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand. I know, and I think there's the injury rate in that is pretty high, and it's interesting because I've heard from like 3 of my last interviews with CrossFit people. So that's really interesting that I'm
Yeah.
talking to CrossFit folks.
It's unfortunate, and I don't want to bash the sport because I mean, obviously I loved it or I wouldn't have done it. But obviously with the techniques and lack of form for what it was going on at that moment, obviously it didn't work for me.
Yeah.
And I have to look at it as at my age standpoint, and being a PE teacher. Yeah, so I said, you know what, I'm just gonna lift weights like I've always done and not worry about how many I can do, how fast. And um but I met my husband, and you know he had always done bodybuilding shows, and that's what got me like, hey, wonder if I could do that. So here we are
Terrific.
2 years later.
That's awesome. That's very cool. No, that's great that you're doing bodybuilding now.
Yeah.
Um, now, in terms of getting started in bodybuilding, was it your husband that convinced you to do your first contest?
Yeah, I think he didn't necessarily talk me into it. I think I have always kind of deep down wanted to see if I could do it. I've always known that I've had an athletic build and good muscle structure. I think it came down to, can I do the diet? Can I do a long prep? I could stay in the gym for all day. That's no problem. So it took some time, and then I got my fat down, and we tried some things, different weights and preps. And he said, if you think you're ready, you probably can do it. And so he supported me, trained me. And yeah, I just took off. I honestly didn't know, whether how good I could do or anything. I just wanted to give it a try. And I was like, I just want to do one show. Well, after that one show, you get the itch. And
Yeah,
yeah. So
I understand. Yeah, no, I've heard that from many people that they kind of get hooked on it, and it's yeah,
yeah, it's quite addicting.
it is. Yeah, I know. That's very cool. I was curious. Do you have a fitness role model that you look up to, or when you first started, or even now?
You know, I think obviously before I started like bodybuilding or doing anything, I didn't know any names. I didn't know of any people in the limelight. But when I started actually watching, the pro shows and the Olympia, I was just in awe just because of all the different classes and bodies and obviously I'm going to be a little more straight narrow path to more my class, my division. But Natalia, Coelho, I think she's amazing.
Yeah,
I've always looked up to her, just because yes, she has a lot of muscle, but she still seems very feminine and she's also very respectful and nice. And so that's what I always want to portray
yeah,
going into a show or just how I meet people, the vibe that you give, So,
yeah,
but I love Sydney, from Figure. Uh, those are the top two. But if you go back in history, like, I've even gone back and watched Iris Kyle and, oh, what's her name now? There was another name I was going to say, but those are the top, So, it's a highly respectable sport, because not everybody can do it, you know,
yeah, it is.
and me starting so late in life, it's just, you find a new self-worth, so
If you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I'm almost 43.
Are you really?
Yeah.
No
So
way. No, I didn't
I'll
realize
be,
that. I thought you
I'll
were in
be
your
40
30s probably.
November. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. That's cool. Very cool. Yeah. And then say it again.
I'm feeling it some days.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Some some days I feel like a spring chicken. Especially with teaching PE, I kind of have to stay on my toes and run around with these little 7-year-olds. But then when I go home, I'm like, oh my
I understand. Yeah, that's tough being a teacher, but I guess I'll get your cardio in, get your steps in that way.
God, every day.
That's very cool. And
Yeah,
the ladies you mentioned too are all amazing and definitely good role models for sure. Yeah. Uh,
absolutely.
I was curious, was it going from CrossFit to bodybuilding? Was it tough for you to get up on stage in a bikini? Was it a little nerve-wracking for you, or were you nervous at all?
And I can't speak for just myself because I do know that a lot of women do struggle with the same issues, whether it's body dysmorphia or, eating disorders. It's a real issue. And when I was younger, for most of my younger years, I struggled with, being overweight and struggling with, body dysmorphia. And then I would binge eat. So I had eating disorders. And then I would, and I've been very open and honest with my family. And so to think the number one thing that I'm most um, insecure about, now I'm going to be the most vulnerable and get on stage in front of, and now I'm going to let people judge me on that. I'm like,
Mhm.
gosh, you know, being vulnerable is hard to accept and kind of like just be. It's
Yeah.
so hard. But I think when you set your mind to something and you give something a try and you've worked so hard for it, you're like, why not?
Hmm. Yeah.
Especially my age, like I've said, is starting later in life. I have a different mindset, and I have different goals rather than what I was in my 20s or 30s. You know, I just I know that I've put in time and work. I do know that I have things to work on, and there's still insecurities and body dysmorphia issues, but I'm still trucking away. So yeah, I mean, there's been times where I'm like, very insecure to go on stage.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think it would be tough to do, especially for the first show, because you're just, you know,
Hmm.
that's just a lot of it's kind of intimidating, I would think. And it's just,
Yeah, I think the adrenaline, I think that fight or flight adrenaline just takes over, and
hmm.
you just have to go. So,
Yeah, definitely. That's cool. No, I totally understand that. Yeah,
mhm.
I thought you were in your like mid 30s. Yeah, I didn't
Yes.
expect 43. That's amazing though. You look great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, I was curious, how did you place at the North Americans this year? And I think you were close to getting pro card, but and just think you have a great physique, but I was just curious how you ended up placing in the different divisions.
Um, what's funny is I chose North Americans because of my age. And I was like, well, I'm not having very much luck in the opens, and so in the North Americans, I'm like, I'm gonna enter as many masters as I can do in the open. And so,
Okay.
you know, coming from nationals in 22, where I got third, so I was one place away. I was like, okay. So I kept training. Well, then I went to junior nationals last year and got fifth. So
Hmm.
I was like, okay. And then we were going to do nationals last year, but that's when my back was really just not having it. So I couldn't put off the surgery anymore.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, surely I'll have more luck in masters, right? Well, funny thing is, I did better in the open than I did in masters.
Really?
Um,
Wow.
yeah, so masters, both masters class, I got third, and then my open class, I got second. So again, one step away. There was four women in the open, my open class B. And,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and we did a bunch of moving in the comparisons, and um, you know, I asked for feedback. I already knew what my feedback was going to be because that's always been my issue, which was my conditioning.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
I've always been praised on my aesthetics and um, my muscle and my look, but it's just my conditioning. And so
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I understand.
here we are. We're just gonna give it another try. So
Yeah, you're talking about doing nationals in Dallas in December, right?
right, yeah. So uh we hired a new coach, and we're gonna go to nationals in December, and that's probably gonna be my last shot. And I think, hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully this is, you know, third nationals is a charm, right? We'll say that.
And
So
with nationals for women's physique, I think it's the top two in each division or each class that get
uh,
the.
top two in each class. Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, no, I really hope you get it. I'm excited for you. So, and tell me about your new coach.
At North Americans, my husband was sitting next to a man, and I was actually on stage, and I'm like, who's he talking to? Because my husband actually used to be huge in bodybuilding about 15 years ago. He won Junior USA, and he was
Wow.
used to be huge, but he never got his pro card. And long story short, now he's going back for his pro card, but he knew the guy, and so they were talking, and then he talked to me backstage,
Okay.
and I've heard nothing but good things, and we've been talking and talking, and he said, we just need more accountability. We need to tighten you up. He's like, you have so much, you know, what's the word? He's like, you can't quit now.
But
Uh,
oh, the potential and just
and
momentum.
yeah, yeah. And I think just him, explaining how much potential I have, and I mean, he just talked me into it, and so we hired Shane Hughley, and we've been together almost 2 weeks, kind of now, ever since North Americans, really, and it's
Yeah.
great so far. So,
That's
see,
great. I bet he can help with conditioning too. That'd be, yeah.
it's not, it's me, it's all my fault. I'm the problem. It's me. Yeah, I like to eat. And I've gone through coaches. My husband is literally the only one because he knows I'll make mistakes and then he has to fix it. And it's me. I just have to stop eating. And so, but now Shane has put me 3 check-ins a week. So hopefully, he'll keep me on the right path.
I see. Yeah, I
I,
see. No,
I don't have any time for error.
uh, maybe your husband could have a secret channel to him. It's like, well, she's been eating, so you better get on her case.
He's, yeah, we're both in prep at the same time. So we kind of have to be, on each other, like, hey, you're not supposed to do that, or you need to be doing this. So
That's
yeah.
good though. Kind of hold each other accountable. That's good. Yeah.
Yep.
What's your husband's name, by the way?
My husband is Chad Martin.
Chad Martin. That name sounds familiar. Yeah. Okay, I do remember him from competing. Like you said, the Junior USA's and
2006. Yeah. Uh,
wow,
not that era. Yeah. So
that's awesome. Very cool. Yeah.
mm,
Um. I was curious. What was your experience like at Backstage at North Americans, and was there kind of like a strong Iron Sisterhood there? And how about the Expediters and the Tana makeup team?
yeah, I mean, everything went smooth. Everybody was kind of a well-oiled machine. All the I don't know about the makeup or the hair because I did my own.
Mhm.
But backstage, it was kind of busy, and so some people would show that they were a little more stressed than others. But for the most part, like, everybody was super friendly, and that it was ran pretty. It was everything was organized. The ladies that were doing the touch ups with the tans backstage were just phenomenal because um, there was one point where I was kind of dizzy and I had to sit down, and they gave me some water and some
Hmm.
salt, and they took care of me. Like, it was really awesome. So
Great. That's really good that they help to take care of you like that. Yeah.
yeah, because they'd be like, not everybody's gonna really care about, because there's so many athletes,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and they have a job to do too. And so, but I was very thankful.
I've heard that Gary Udit is just really good promoter and really takes care of the athletes. So that's really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a nice venue. And I loved going to Pittsburgh, so it was fun.
Very cool. Yeah. Now, did you seek out judge feedback when you were there, or with there
Yeah.
so many competitors, might be hard to get feedback, but
Well, now what I really liked was Sandy actually came backstage. Uh, Sandy came backstage, and kind of everybody just started making a line. And so we, one by one, we would just talk to her, and she would look through her notes and look at us, and there you go. And same thing, conditioning. So
okay.
yeah,
Yeah. No,
yeah,
you have great structure and yeah, I can see where yeah, just conditioning needs to be improved a little bit, but that's great though. That's good that you get that kind of feedback too.
yeah, yeah. So
I was curious what's your favorite muscle group on your physique and your least favorite.
oh, okay. Well, probably my back. Uh, and it's probably my favorite because I know it's my strength. I love shoulders as well.
Hmm.
Um, my weakness, I mean, I'm not like, gotta lift legs. I don't skip leg day, but like, I do so much cardio. My legs get worked, but I'm not like gung ho about, you know, I don't know. I'm not big into chest either. So I'll do it, but it's not my favorite.
Really? Yeah, I understand.
So
I
yeah.
was thinking with leg day and having to chase them kids around to be tough because
Uh,
you're just,
yeah.
yeah.
I I get plenty of steps, plenty of movement. Yeah. So I mean, my legs get work daily. That's not the issue. The muscle and the yeah, that's not the issue. So
That's cool. Yeah. Those kids will keep you busy for sure.
oh yeah, it's constant movement, constant. So
Oh yeah, I bet that's fun though. That working with the kids is pretty rewarding too. And
it,
yeah.
it definitely can be. There are rough days, obviously, just like any other, profession. But it's a very rewarding career.
That's awesome. I was curious, do you have a opposing coach too?
I do not currently, but I have had in the past. What year was it? My 22 year, I posed with oh my gosh, dead center. What Kenneth? Kenny? Kenny.
Any, well,
Yeah. So 22 when I started, I posed with Kenny. Well, then all of 2023, I went with Sheila out of Texas,
yeah.
and I love Sheila. And every once in a while, like I haven't in a while, but if I needed her to, we would catch up and pose. So
Oh, very cool. That's great. Yeah.
yeah.
Does she help with your mandatories and your routine?
Not the routine, but she's definitely helped with um the mandatories and like transitioning and the individual, because we have our 30-second individual, but my dance routine or dance, it's not dance, but posing routine at night. No, I've gotten help from somebody else with that.
Oh,
So
really? Help with choreography and that sort of stuff. And
yeah, because I definitely don't do I can't do that. So
oh, really? Oh no, your posing is good though. I thought it was good. So yeah.
yeah,
I
practice a
was-
lot.
what's that?
I said I do practice a lot.
Oh, practice posing? Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
With Shane having you do 3 check-ins too, you're gonna have to get the posing practice.
Yep.
Um, I was curious, what would you say is the most challenging aspect of prep for you?
The food.
The food? Yeah, I understand. You're
Um,
like,
and I also probably will say probably the demands also, because even though I could spend hours at the gym, it's also trying I could be busy at work all day, 20,000 steps, running kids all day. It's finding the energy and motivation to go to the gym afterwards. Because
yeah,
sometimes I am so tired, or I haven't checked my emails all day, or I've got to go do this. I need to go to Walmart or life, and so it's like, okay, I guess I'm just not getting home till 9 p.m. tonight. So I think the demands of um, just everything, other than I would say the diet first and then time.
sure. I understand.
Yeah.
I'd find the bodybuilding diet would just so monotonous, that would drive me crazy, I think, with chicken and rice and, just like,
Yeah.
what,
I mean, every trainer kind of throws in a different, um, they have their different things that they can do. And, I've seen two, three, four different coaches in the last 2 years. And um, it's not entirely different, but there's little things that are different. But I mean, for the most part, yeah, I mean, the consistency is key. So you have to kind of keep it the same. And it's
yeah,
different. It's the difference in, like portions.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, just the variety. I need some variety.
Yeah.
I was just curious, what advice can you give to ladies who are looking for a good coach?
I would maybe check for credentials. Um, and definitely ask around too and also see how personalities click. Because they could be one of the most renowned coaches or trainers, like one of my past ones or someone else's, and they've trained women or males that have gone to the Olympia, but if they don't communicate with you but once a week, or you have questions, that's not really like, obviously they're kind of keeping you low on the totem pole because they're so busy with these, but that's not very fair if you're paying your money. So I would, you know, I would really look into, personality, credentials, um, and just seeing if it's a right fit. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, because sometimes, and my personality, um, it's not that I don't work well with others, but I like to be in control. I like to kind of be alpha. And so if a man or a trainer comes in and they're kind of like the same mentality, now I can work well under pressure, but if you're going to jump down my throat on one mistake and make me feel like I'm the worst person ever, or only talk to me once a week, it's not going to work.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
No, that's good advice, I think. Have you ever worked with a female coach, or you think that would be,
No,
no?
I would not work with a female coach.
No? Okay, cool.
That's where that alpha mentality comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I would just train myself. And I mean, being a certified trainer as it is, I mean, I know enough about, the sports and nutrition background, like, but I don't want to prep myself for a show. So,
Yeah.
because I don't have the accountability. I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I understand that. No, definitely. I got that. And I think it is important to have that accountability. Um how I was curious, how long have you worked as a personal trainer, and is that something you still are actively doing with all that you got going on?
Oh yeah. Now I'm not as busy as sometimes I am. Like, I'm definitely busier in the summer, when I'm out of school. Um, I got certified in like 2020, 21. Um, and so I've been training ever since. I have a few clients right now. Some are online. Um, and I'm actually hoping to start my own business, like a real, like, have my own location and have classes, especially for adults, and then do youth sports training, fundamentals, and stuff like that.
This would all be in person?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, very cool. That's awesome. Would you train other bodybuilders, or would that
Mm,
even be of interest to you?
I mean, it just depends. I probably wouldn't feel comfortable training males. I would,
Mhm.
point them to my husband, because my husband has probably like 8 clients right now.
Oh, nice. Okay. Very
And
cool.
but if I do actually have, I have one female client. She's prepping for her first bikini contest. Uh,
Okay.
and then I have another female, but my husband kind of does her diet and everything. Just because she's kind of more advanced.
Sure.
So,
Okay.
but yeah, I mean, I'm definitely open to training more women that are interested in competing.
That's great. That's very cool. Yeah, I was just curious about that. And yeah, I didn't, is that, well, no, I'll ask you later. But I was, in terms of being a PE teacher, I was curious, how long have you worked in that role? And are the boys crushing on you over there? I know they're kind of young boys, but
Well, that is why I teach in elementary. Um, I did when I was in school and I had to do my interns at high school. I was pretty young then, and I knew right away that I wasn't going to be able to do high school for a while, or till I was way older, uh,
Mhm.
because of just boys and teenagers. I don't want to deal with that. Now,
Understood.
I have been in elementary PE for 10 years now. Um, but I've been in education for, this is my 17th year.
Wow.
Are they crushing? I don't know, because these are little kids. Yeah. But
Yeah.
I feel like if I have built that rapport and, I have that relationship with all my kids, I mean, I feel like they love me, and that
Yeah.
are all my students because I want them to love me. So I'm trying to build that trust. And so, I mean, it is what it is. Most kids love PE,
Yeah.
have to be athletic. They just love to play.
Oh,
They
yeah.
understand that they're learning things, but I think that they act, I've got a pretty good system, and I know that they don't want to mess up in here. So I think I've done a pretty good job. Don't want to toot my own horn, but I think it's gone pretty well here. So
That's awesome. Yeah, it sounds like you really love working there too, and working with the kids. I bet that's fun.
yeah,
Yeah, exhausting, I bet too.
tired. I go through shoes, that's for sure.
I bet, yeah. I was curious, how long have you worked as a tennis and track coach, or is that something you got active right now?
Well, the tennis and track is within the school, and so
Oh, okay.
that started when I started teaching PE. The tennis is for our third graders. We have a tennis program,
Hmm.
and I help run after school practices with another coach. Now he does most of it, but I think I've learned enough from him to where, and I've even taken classes in college, the physiology of, sports and exercises, or how to teach tennis, or how to teach this, and so um, I've been doing it for a few years, and I know how to teach them the basics for sure. And track I've been doing for forever here at school. It's a one of our older kids programs. Um,
Hmm.
and that's basic. It's not cross country. It's just basic fundamentals of, the sprints and wind ups and jumping, and so we do a bunch of fundamentals and strength building for that too.
That's really cool that you're doing that. That they have, your school has that offered as well. So that's really cool.
Yeah. It's-
Um, I was curious, are your parents, are they still alive?
my mom is still alive. Yes.
Is
Yeah.
she supportive of your bodybuilding career?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, she's supportive of anything I've ever done. But she knew that I was interested, and I just started giving it a try, and she's super proud of me. Yeah.
Terrific.
Yeah.
That's good to hear that. Yeah, I know I've heard from some parents who are just don't understand. They just
They
don't.
And so they can't, yeah, they don't understand. Why can't you
Yeah.
have a piece of cake? I really want that piece of cake, but you can't enjoy your life because your diet, all you can eat is fish. I'm like, you don't understand. You're gonna see why when we get in our bikinis. They kind of understand, but they think once in a while, every time, like, if there's a birthday party, they don't think that's gonna really hurt, but it's the chemistry
Yeah.
that you've built up with your body that changes, so you ruin a few days there.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
My family, they're all supportive. My daughter, she's 18 now, and I think at first she was scared that I would get too big, because I showed her some pictures of the females that were in my division at a pro level, and she goes, "Oh my gosh, that's too big. They look manly." And that's typical from, you know, kind of like a novice or a rookie standpoint, because
Yeah.
and some women do, I don't want to say anything wrong here. There are some women that look a little too hard,
Yeah, I understand.
lose the feminine part aspect of their face. Um,
Yeah.
I I just want to make sure that I don't want to lose that part of me. Um, and I just had to ensure my child that, like, I don't plan on getting that big. Um, it's more of the, just trying to lose the fat and the conditioning, and just getting up on stage to prove that I can do it. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. And now, since I've done a few shows, she's very supportive, and she's gone to a couple shows, and
Oh, nice.
yeah. So,
Do you think she would ever compete?
oh,
No. No.
she's a gamer.
Oh, a gamer. Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
She got good thumbs. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Um, no, that's very cool. Now, in terms of Fort Smith, Arkansas is where you live. I was curious, is that a very supportive community for bodybuilding, or are there many bodybuilders around?
Oh yeah, I mean, we have a couple big gyms. I'm at one of the biggest gyms in the city, and I mean, we have lots of bodybuilders, but then there's actual bodybuilders. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah,
Now, compared to somewhere like Dallas or Florida or California, I mean, it's very rare to see somebody who's done a show.
yeah,
We
sure.
we do have a few around here that have done shows, but like any typical day, if I'm in my workout gear or a tank top, I try to cover up before I go into Walmart because or anywhere else because I get really strong looks.
Oh,
And
I bet. Yeah,
it's because it's not the norm around here.
yeah,
Now
sure.
go in the gym, it's perfectly accepted because, all the girls are in workout gear, but they're also not ripped. I'm not going to say like me, but they're not at the stage where, I've done a show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
So yeah, I mean, it's respected, but people aren't used to it. So they're kind of like, you know,
I understand that. Yeah.
yeah.
Did you ever get to see Brooke Walker? I know she lives in Arkansas. I think she's probably the most famous bodybuilder from Arkansas.
Yeah, she lives about, I think, 2.5, 3 hours southeast from me. I've met her at a couple shows. She's super sweet. Um, yeah, and I follow her on social media. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't think she's doing the Olympia this year. Um,
No,
just from what I've kind of gathered from watching her social media. But yeah, I mean, she's up there in the books for sure. I love watching her pose.
she is. She's amazing, and her physique is crazy good. And yeah, it's going to be weird not to have her at the Olympia this year because she has been in it for a few years now. So
Top
yeah.
five. Yeah. For sure.
Um, and no, but yeah, she's amazing. In terms of so your kids, do you just have the one kid, the daughter?
Yes, I have one. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Very
She,
cool.
so
I'm in the same boat. I have one daughter, so who's also 18. So
yeah.
yeah, but she's not going to do bodybuilding either.
Now my daughter is also like stick skinny. So work.
Oh yeah, I understand.
Uh-huh.
I just have a few more questions for you. Are you good? Are you good on time? Just
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good.
was curious. Do you ever find it hard to deal with demands of social media? Or do you have a lot of followers now?
I mean, I don't have a lot. I think I have like 1,200 or so,
Hmm.
but it's not like I don't post as like I'm an influencer. I don't post for, likes. I'm old. So I post stuff about like my dogs or my parrot or my, what my family's doing or a trip I'm going on. It's not like, I mean, I'm hoping that with maybe my future business and, hoping I do well at nationals that I can kind of cross over and be more influential in that area. But I mean, the demands of it, I don't really have time to worry about that. That's
Yeah,
that's kind of extra.
sure. I
Yeah.
totally understand that.
Yeah. So
Um, and it can be anti-social media too. It can be just it can be a time sucker, and it can
yeah,
be kind of
it,
make you sad too because it's just I don't know, just a lot of
I try to
sad
stay
stuff.
off of it before before shows because if
Yeah,
I start seeing females who are going to go to my competition, it freaks me out. I don't know
yeah.
why, but I'm like sending it to my husband. Do you see her? Do you see her? But
No,
uh,
I think that's good to do that because it can get in your head for sure, and yeah, you don't want to really compare yourself to others. You just got to improve yourself. So
yep, that's
yeah.
true. Yeah.
Um, we talked a little bit about it, body dysmorphia, but do you ever find yourself dealing with that or like a post-show kind of blues kind of thing? Or
Yeah. I still go through it because especially if I make mistakes on my prep. Um, and there's been two shows. well, actually, the two nationals before the nationals and the junior nationals, within 2 days, I had gained 25 pounds because
Wow.
I binged. I almost had to get rushed to the hospital because I had gotten so swollen I could hardly breathe, which is totally my fault. I
Hmm.
ate and ate and ate, and I blew up. Um,
Wow.
and
Wow. Hmm.
and then when I did it again after junior nationals, it's kind of like a PTSD thing.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
after Americans, I had to hurry and commit to Shane, to nationals, because I was gonna really try not to eat, and you know, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna commit just because I don't want to. But now I'm like, if this is the life I want to lead and live, especially if I'm starting my own business and I'm getting new clientele, I'm training kids, I have to stay in shape. I am happiest when I'm in shape, where I feel more comfortable in my skin. I don't feel like I have to wear an extra large t-shirt. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so it just helps that aspect of, daily living where you're not depressed and yeah.
I totally understand that. No, I get that. I think a lot of ladies get that post-show blues too, and I think that's just really common. And
Yeah, because you have to gain, especially if you're taking time off to really gain some more muscle or, try to change a shape, you're going to have to gain weight. You have to kind of put on fat to put on muscle.
mhm.
But it's mental.
It is. It's mental. Yeah, you're right. I think that. Yeah. Um, interesting. Yeah, that's a good point. I was just curious, how do you think we can get more people to attend bodybuilding shows? And,
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised a lot of shows, have that I've attended have kind of a small crowd, even, pro shows that you'd think would have more. But what do you think would be a good way to get more people to come or
I mean, I would try to just market outside of gyms and bodybuilding, place,
Mhm.
because I mean, it, people don't know if they aren't subjected to it, and so uh, somehow just market it in a different way, in a different manner, to make other people feel more welcome, because you know I almost feel like it's a um I don't know the word, but it's almost like they only accept people who are in shape or doing shows, or you're a pro. It's like, even if your whole family is here watching, supporting, hey, bring a friend. Or even if they don't even go to the gym, if you market it out, like, more people can, become more aware and maybe get into leading their life as a more fitness based, healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think that's the main perspective there.
It is such a niche kind of sport, but it's not, yeah, I think you're right. It's not as welcoming as it could be. And I think the ticket price is honestly a little too expensive sometimes too. I think that's a deterrent.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, and I understand they need to make their money, and but yeah, they need to make it a little more affordable and profitable for, or acceptable for us to, or others to, attend.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with you on that. I one thing that I think introduced a lot of people to bodybuilding back in the day was when it was on TV, like ESPN and NBC, and I think it motivated people to at least watch and satisfy curiosity, but maybe convince people to start training and or at least find out more about the sport.
Yeah, and they still show. It's just now you have to pay to watch online, which I think,
Yeah,
if they could either come down on the price, or, and that's the thing, is sometimes they're charging people $30 a day to watch the live feed, but the live feed is not uh, good enough to pay $30 for, or there's
yeah.
is like, come on. So, yeah.
Even when it was on ESPN and NBC, they would show it like a month or two later. So I think they could still do the live stream and make revenue that way. But I don't know. I just think it would be nice to get it back on TV and instead of showing cornhole and hot dog eating contests, that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
Yeah, much more meaningful.
Yeah. I was just wondering if there's anything I missed that you'd like to address or anybody you'd like to shout out.
And I don't think so. I mean, I just want the only thing that I want to say is like, especially for women or men who start later in life, especially who have, um, if they've had surgeries, like, myself, I had that spinal fusion and, it's been 8 months, and just not to be scared to try to come back, or, just do their best at taking their time, to just not give up, because I was scared, worried, hey, I'm never going to be able to do this again. I don't know if my back's going to ever work again. Um,
Yeah,
so, but yeah, I just wanted to let everybody know that it's doable. So it just takes time.
that's good advice. Yeah, definitely. And I was wondering if you have any sponsors or are you interested in sponsors?
Oh, well, of course I'm interested in sponsors. Right now my husband and I are kind of one together with MHP. Um, and so, I mean, that's really the only one that we're working with. But yeah, send it my way. Uh,
What is MHP? I've heard that before, but
that's oh my God, I can't even say it. Maximum. I can't even say it. Oh my gosh, you put me on the spot.
aha,
Yeah.
maximum health performance or something like that, maybe, or
Hold on.
okay.
I'm going to get in trouble for this.
Uh-huh.
Maximum human performance.
Oh, okay. Maximum human performance.
Yeah,
Okay, very cool. Yeah.
that's what it is. Yeah. So we actually also set booths up at shows, and we don't sell product. We push products, we advertise products, we give out samples. Um, so yeah.
That's very cool. That's awesome. Yeah. And I was wondering, just to end the interview, if you would mind doing a quick flex for me.
Sure. Let me get. I don't know if you can see. Uh,
Oh yeah, you look good, Brittany. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for your time in this interview. I really appreciate it. And
oh,
I'll try to get this posted soon and I'll tag you, of course. And but best wishes to you and best wishes at Nationals. Hope you do great and get your pro card down there.
thank you, David. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Bye.